In today's episode, Maria asks, is there anything specific that worries you about the impact of AI for content or marketing, etc.? Worries me? There's a few things that are concerns. First and foremost is intellectual property. A lot of the law around AI doesn't exist yet. When a machine creates content, who owns it? Right now, the precedent that has been set thus far is that if a piece of software generates some sort of output, because you are the operator of the software, it is your intellectual property, right? You open up Microsoft Word, you type a document out, and then you've created this thing and it is yours. However, when you use something like the Da Vinci model for text generation or Stable Diffusion, you are still involved in the process. Right? You are still pushing the go button, but the machine is doing more of the work. And so then the question becomes, does the model itself get some credit? In the same way that, say, an undergrad student in your lab would get credit for their contributions to an academic paper. We don't have answers to this yet. I suspect we will not have answers to this for at least a little while because it's not clear. The machines themselves cannot create content by themselves, right? If you turn on Stable Diffusion, load all the libraries and stuff, it just sits there. It doesn't do anything, right? It's like a blender. Right? You can buy a blender, plug it into the wall. You can even put ingredients in it. But unless a human pushes the button to make the blender go, nothing happens. The same is true of AI systems. Nothing happens without human input. So if I, as the human, commission the environment and push the go button, is the intellectual property mine? Again, current precedent says that software doesn't necessarily create intellectual property. Humans do. And that a machine can't own a patent. A machine can't own a copyright. A human or an entity run by humans, like a corporation, can. Who knows? We don't know the answer to that. So for now, we operate as though you, the human, are responsible for that. So that's one aspect. The second aspect that is, it doesn't worry me, but it is a concern, is that you have this bar of competence, right? The bar of competence is where the machines are versus where you are. Maybe you're a below average writer. And for the last 4 years, machines have been far below average, right? They crank a word salad. Today, they're below average writers, right? In certain circumstances, they're actually even are I would call them average writers, mediocre writers, which means they're above you now in terms of competence. And as time goes on, those machine models will keep getting better and better and better. And so for us, the humans, we have to keep getting better and better and better as well so that we stay ahead of that bar of competence. That's getting harder to do for a lot of people. And so one of the things we have to take into consideration is, at what point do we become just the conductors of the orchestra, right? For something like painting, I'm a terrible painter. My first inclination would be to use something like Stable Diffusion if I wanted to create some kind of art, because it's better than I am, right? I'm bad at it, so it's better than me. So what happens as writing becomes better than me or videography becomes better than me? I have to use these tools. I have to change how I work to incorporate these tools so that maybe instead of me doing the painting, I'm writing the prompt that creates the painting and fine-tuning it that way. Again, it's not a worry right now. It is more something I'm watching very carefully. How fast is the bar of competency rising with machines? How far is it compared to humans? And are the humans who are going to be impacted, are they paying attention to it? Are they taking advantage of the time that they have now to level up their skills so that they can be more effective and not be replaced by machines? Really good question. There's a lot more to unpack in here, but really good question. Thanks for asking. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.